I'm joining. Hi, Migle. Good to see you. I'm joining from Bermuda. And I actually just want to talk a little bit about Sekhmet, which is the lion goddess, whom I met in Egypt and really became... it's such a deep story, so I do want to share it with you. And so this is several years ago on my first pilgrimage to Egypt. Before I got into leading pilgrimages to Egypt and teaching Egyptian mythology and Egyptian mystery school and Egyptian shamanism, I was in my shamanic initiations, and I was with a Celtic Algonquin and a Ecuadorian shamans that I trained with, and then in my shamanic journey, the Egyptian thread kept coming up in all my journeys. My spiritual tools that I was making was all of the Egyptian lineage. And when I journey to that, it's my spiritual lineage is the Egyptian lineage. And I'm a Netaru medicine woman. I practice Egyptian shamanism. I'm a teacher of that too. I teach Egyptian mythology, and I lead spiritual pilgrimages to Egypt to have a transformative experience. But let me tell you where it all started. In honor of Sekhmet, Dua Sekhmet, here on Lion's Gate. It's a powerful portal of manifestation today. Really think about your thoughts, your actions. Be mindful of that today. And so I'm wearing her colors. Actually, this has a lioness on it, and it's all this fiery. We're in the lion season as well, the Leo season. So it's all that fiery energy of passion and action and just putting things into action. So with that comes a lot of intensity, right? So it's been challenging as well. So let me tell you, so I went on this first pilgrimage. There was 24 women. And I'm just going to take you right there. So it was an early morning. Again, the alarm goes off 3 a.m. because every time we get up early before the sunrise so we can meet the temple at just the right time. So we get that golden hour when the energy is undisturbed. And we were going to make our way to Karnak Temple, which is one of the biggest complex temples in Egypt. It's in Luxor and along the Nile, and it's a beautiful temple. Every time I go there, there's new temples, chapels that I discover. They're still unearthing so much there and putting together so much there as well. So it's just every time's a different experience. But that day we were going to go to Sekhmet's chapel. So a lot of tourists don't even go there. They don't even go there, and it was for a long time not accessible by tourists as well. And so here I'm sitting at the breakfast table next to my sister, and she turns to me, she's like, Kathia, she's an intuitive, a psychic, she's like, do you get a lot of neck pain? Do you go to the chiropractor weekly and acupuncture, and you get a lot of migraines? I'm like, yes. How do you know? Like, I was kind of surprised, while I'm sipping my coffee. And she's like, you've had many past lives in Egypt. And today, you're going to know why this is happening to you. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm all for receiving answers and putting the puzzle pieces together and discovering. I'm all for the mystery, This is my work. This is what I bring. So I'm like, okay, sure. Well, I don't know what I'm in for. I'm going to meet this lion goddess today, and, everybody's making a big thing about it. So then, as we were gathering our things, making our way to the temple, two of the guides came up to me. And they know the energy of the temples. They see deeper into people's souls. But both of them came up to me, they said to me, Kathia, today is your day. I'm like, okay, what do you mean by today is my day? They're like, you're going to have a profound experience today. I'm like, okay. So here we're walking into the Karnak complex, and we're going off to the side where this chapel is of Sekhmet. And first and it's all quiet, hush, because there's also a lot of you can't stay there too long, and it's like you don't know how long you can stay there, and all these like obstacles sort of in a way with that. But I'm last in the row. And I thought like, oh, I don't know, maybe we're not even going to all get a chance to be there. And, you know, it's going to be a quick in and out. And like, you know, you're going to have your time and that's it. And as we approach, I'm in the back of the line. The guy said, no, Kathia, you need to go first. I'm like, okay. And he kind of held everyone back. And I come up. So now there's this big cast iron gate. And the guard, the temple guard, open it up with this huge key, squeaking as it opens up. And here's this dark room. So in the room that we enter, there's Ptah, which is the underworld god. It's the god, creator god, blue god in his coloring as well. And he's the consort to Sekhmet. And so you kind of like ask permission before you enter. And you also give reverence, right, for being there. And you honor and respect this holy place. So you kind of feel already overwhelmed just with the, you know, with the sacredness. You feel it. But here I come in. I'm letting in first, one by one, right? And it is dark. And there's just this light shining on the aureus sun disk, the solar disk, with the cobra on top of Sekhmet's, the lion goddess, face, right? And I couldn't look her in the eyes. And I was brought to my knees. I didn't know what I was going to experience. Sorry, I get very teary remembering this experience. And she's known as the fierce, compassionate mother. You know, she's like, she can hold you to your truth. She can look at you and hold that space, that sacred space, and call you out on every way that you have. And this is what I'm experiencing, was having these flashbacks of my life, of like all the ways I cheated myself, I neglected myself, I dishonored myself, I didn't respect myself, I abandoned myself, I didn't stand in my truth and in my power. And it was just flushing through me, and I could just let it all go. I had a space where I was being fully seen and held, being in that tender, raw moment of just experiencing every time in my lifetime, this lifetime, of where I wasn't standing in my truth and power. And I couldn't look in the eyes. And for many years after that, I still couldn't look her in the eyes. And every time I connect with that energy, I will be taken back to that point of remembrance of how I'm in control of that and my own power, how I give my own power away. And it starts with me. It starts with me following that intuitive voice of like, Kathia, this is not in your highest alignment. This is not in your highest good. And are you really taking good care of yourself and nourishing yourself? And how is this serving you in every situation? And, and it took many years for me to build up the courage every year, a few times a year, as I was leading my own pilgrimages and going back on my own spiritual pilgrimage to Egypt and being in front of her, that I have to be with that again in places that I'm still captive in my life, that I'm allowing to still be captive in my life, whether it's in my, 22-year relationship that I'm, was married in, that I'm now separating off, or is it just ways that I'm like not setting my boundaries with myself first. And I'm not communicating my boundaries. I'm not communicating my needs and my desires and saying, this is not okay with me. If you can't communicate with me clearly, this is not okay with me. But it starts with me. I need to be very clear with myself first, because I can't expect anyone else to do that for me if I'm not very clear to myself first. And then so as this was all, and I was like wailing, I was just letting out all this grief and pain of all these years. And a lot of people, when they were renovating that temple, that chapel, people were getting sick because the energy is so potent there. If you would take video, you would see light orbs everywhere surrounding you, right? It's just, you feel a physicality that you can't deny. So people were thinking they were getting sick, or they were thinking it was cursed or whatever, but it's just because they don't understand energy. They don't understand and can relate to energy and energetic exchanges in a way that if you practice energy medicine or working with vibrational frequencies, which I do as a frequency alchemist, you can discern and know where this energy is leading with you and what alchemy is taking place in that given moment. And then only three of us were able to have our moment at that time in front of Sekhmet before they closed off the room. And I came out and I was like a changed person. I was like a rebirth person. I mean, one of the guys both of them came up to me. They're like, you're different, you totally shifted. And I had this, that was one of my most, before this last pilgrimage I led, activations in my Kundalini energy as well. So it was just such I'll never forget that. And then my journeying with Sekhmet just continued for years after that. I was with Nikki Scully for quite a few years, and Indigo with the the being in the belly of the goddess is a transformational process with Sekhmet. So mentors of mine, and then I've had my own deepening and teachings with Sekhmet, with doing mentorships with clients, with transformational journeys, soar with Sekhmet. And every time I return back, so the rest of the women had their chance, because Sekhmet has something in store for you, has a gift for you, has a message for you. Everyone that goes there has an experience there. It's a vision, a premonition, a dream, a feeling. Everyone gets something from going there. And for everyone, that's so different every time you go. And the second time around on that pilgrimage, when we went there, hi everyone, I was just standing towards the back so all the other women can have. And then I had just this clear discernment. And this is when I stopped. I've been practicing clinical medicine for 20 years, right? And this is where it shifted for me, from a clinical practice that's evidence-based to, I call it pilgrimage medicine, right? It's like one of my teachers, Jane Bell, will call it a pilgrimage like this. It's 20 years of therapy in 2 weeks, and that's what it is. It's not a vacation. My pilgrims that came back now in January, they were like, everyone's asking them, so how was your vacation? They're like, it's not a vacation. It's not a vacation. It's the deep work. It's real. It's raw. It's intense. It's all the feels. We have ecstasy. We laugh. We joy. We sing. We celebrate. But then we also deeply connected in our grief and in our sharing of just trauma and pain, and we can hold that sacred space for each other, and we can move it and each uphold that space. It has all these beautiful energetic portals. That's why I'm coming to you today, because we're all connected as a collective in this portal today on 8/8. I know everyone makes a big thing of it. I know it. It's been an intense few days for me. I was like, I don't even know. Oh, okay. I saw you on the nilometer. Yes. I love the nilometer. Sorry, I'm just getting distracted with the comments. But yes, so it's, I hope you're making the most of today, and that you do allow yourself in this lifetime to go to meet up with Sekhmet at Karnak Temple. I do hope you allow yourself that chance, and for you to really just experience her energy. One of the statues still in its all original space. and that you also deepen with her teachings, and she's calling for you. But yeah, so we were all brought back, and I was just on the back, and I was seeing all these women having their experience, and I just had this clear discernment, like, Kathia, you can't still be practicing medicine the way you have been. This is the medicine. This is what you are meant to do. You are meant to bring pilgrims, women and men, to here, to Egypt, to the sacred lands, to have this awakening experience, and to be able to deepen with themselves, really connect on a deep level, and be able to move through that and be held in this sacred container. And let me tell you, it's all about the facilitation. I've been on many pilgrimage with other leaders, facilitators, as well as the ones I've led or my own individual pilgrimages there. And it's all about how you set the energetic container, how you move through the energy, how you support other pilgrims, what comes up, because it's such a raw experience. I mean, Egypt has so much, like, it's a dichotomy. It's like the extremes. It's like Bermuda. You know, the first time I came to Bermuda, I can see how Egypt and Bermuda is linked also with the Bermuda Triangle, but the energy is very similar. It's like, if you allow it, it can be chaotic. It changes in a moment. It's full of surprises. You don't know what's going to happen from the one day to the next. And if you really just immerse in the energy, that's what it's like. But it has so much possibility for things to be different, to change, to transform. And if you just step into this, bringing you to that edge of uncomfortability. You know, this is how I prepare my pilgrims before pilgrimage. I'm like, you're going to be pushed to the limits, physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally. You're going to be questioning yourself. You're going to have doubts. It's going to be uncomfortable. And then it's also going to be ecstatic and beautiful and euphoric. So it's all about how you move through that energy, and it changes constantly, and how you just let it move through you, that conduit, you, that hollow bone. And this is how I channel energy too, with my instruments, sound healing that I do, and just listening to spirit, being guided, and channeling that sound frequency that's meant to be offered for healing and for rebirth of sorts. So yeah, I'm just wish you well on this beautiful day, this beautiful energetic portal day, and at Lion's Gate, and just to embrace that lioness energy of being in your power, being your full power, speaking your truth, practicing that throat chakra, speaking your truth, speaking your desires, and always just come from an honest place and speaking all of it, no matter how vulnerable it is. It's so important to have clear communication. I mean, cosmically, with all the retrogrades, communication gets messed up all the times, right? So all we can do individually is to be as clear communicators as possible, and just let people know what's going on with us, and then take ownership of our own energy. This is something that Sirius Rising, Jill, that's on here too. She has great courses with her clairvoyance training on how to move and call back your energy and clear energy and so on. If you're ever interested, you can check that out. So yeah, I'll be speaking more about Birth Your Power. I have a pilgrimage coming up that I'm leading in November. It's only 1 week, because a lot of my pilgrims said, 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks is such a long time to be away from family, from work, they're entrepreneurs. It gets too costly too then. So I've curated a pilgrimage that's just 1 week. We'll be going to Sekhmet's temple, and the whole tour, the whole spiritual tour is aligned around, the theme is Birth Your Power, because this year for myself individually in my journey, it's all about stepping into my truth, purpose, and birthing my own power. How have I been giving my power away for the last 45 years, and being able to claim it back, reclaiming it, standing in my truth. So this is going to be the theme of the pilgrimage. So it's so aligned with the Lioness season and Sekhmet and the Lion's Gate. So if you want to manifest that, you can DM me here, or you could go on the link for Birth Your Power Pilgrimage. I have a special going on at the moment now where I give you $500 off. So you can take part in that. I only have 4 more spots left, and it is I can't take any more registrations past the 20th of August. And so come join us. We're going to have a special temple alignment actually at Hathor's Temple, Dendera, for early morning visit at the birth house, the Mamisi, where there's going to be a sun alignment. I like to organize my tours so that it has a sun alignment or a sacred celebration festival, that we connect with that energy. So please come and join us. We have a beautiful collective and group already, all aligned individuals that is excited to birth their power. And I've been working with them through coaching on doing that, and I'm doing this inner work myself, and this is where I teach from. I teach from a place of embodiment where I've gone through it, and I share by examples what's worked for me and how to discern and how to listen to that inner voice and how to move through this energy. So but I'll be sharing more about that and my gifts that Spirit gave me and what I'm being called to do here. So you have a beautiful day. Sekhem Sahu, and I will speak to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.